Welcome back, everybody, as we get straight into the Game 2 draft here between WCU Rams and Trebuchet, as Trebuchet took a very dominating Game 1 victory, and immediately we're going to see Graves' respect ban here, as Trebuchet, they're looking to just ban about the same things here, just
Yep.
kind of putting down Kingfisher in that top lane. And they're going to first pick Malphite, of all things.
I would love to see Aatrox picked and then the return um Aatrox Staples just dominates Malphite in the reverse. That would be precious.
Yeah,
But yeah, no surprise
oof,
the
oh
Graves
man.
ban. I mean, I guess they kind of feel that Graves was the problem child and not the
Their weird
decision making play.
draft or how they played the team fights or the positioning. But yeah, it was just the grapes.
Karma first pick again. Well, not first pick, but first pick for the side of Trebuchet here. So it could be a flex. Could be a flex again. Have to see if we kind of get a run back. I mean, outside of Graves, nothing else was really banned. I mean, Malphite was picked up, so you could go with Silas. Ooh, that's a
Oh,
good pick with the Malphite. You could steal the unstoppable force and become your own kind of unstoppable force.
but with AP. Just a little bit of
Exactly, but with an AP
spice.
ratio.
Just a little bit of spice. Ooh,
Yeah, Seraphine
Seraphine being grabbed. I
team
like it.
fight ultimates.
Yeah, a lot of Silas is going to have a field day right now, so
I know they're picking
Rams
into
are
it,
going to
man.
have to be really cognizant of what they pick. So the Silas does not have a bunch of good stuff to steal.
You just watch this third pick. It's going to be a misfortune again. I'll bet you. I'll bet you they're just going to comfort pick the misfortune, and Silas is going to have a field day. No jinx. I can't say I'm not happy. Now, the question is, do you think they're going to be flexing the Seraphine into the mid lane and the bot lane as a support? Similar to how Karma's
Um,
being flexed right now? Well, not
yeah, the
anymore.
Seraphine is definitely a good pick for that flex. So Karma. So right now both sides have a lot of options, but WCU Rams are going to have to blind pick somewhere, and so it's looking to be an Ezreal on the bot side. So it looks like kind of like a salty reverse switcheroo here, as Trebuchet, they're gonna take the Ezreal, and then the Rams are going to take, or wait, or no, the Rams kept the Malphite.
Yeah,
So
they stole the Malphite away, yeah.
or no, wait. Oh, yeah, they took away the Malphite. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So it
You
wasn't
got
that
it right.
unorthodox. Um,
Yeah.
so
Orianna
Orianna
ban.
being banned away, actually. So that's gonna be very interesting here. As Ori, actually, the Ori did do a lot. Went for the Ludens build, so just went for like the pure one shot.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
But
get
it's
rid
all
of
about
that
the
wombo
wombo combo.
combo. Yeah, get rid of that
Yeah.
combo. Is Lucian banned? Huh. So they think, I guess that
Top lane.
yeah, I guess Trebuchet plays some Lucian top lane or mid lane. Interesting.
Urban ban trying to combo with the Malphite. They're basically just taking away combo pieces that work with Malphite, which I'm kind of surprised you would pick the Jinx if you planned on going with the combo, because you easily could have just not picked Seraphine and Jinx and just went with the Orianna. Obviously, Orianna Malphite's pretty disgusting combo. And Silas using Orianna's ultimate, I'm pretty sure it just causes the shockwave around Silas, so it's not like it's a super amazing ultimate. It's not bad, don't get me
Ooh.
wrong. Ooh,
So
Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath top with Silas mid. Interesting.
Cho'Gath's not bad in a Malphite. You do have the AP damage. Malphite doesn't have as much magic resist compared to armor as he would in these lane matchups. And obviously that chomp, that early game true damage execute, about 300 to 350 damage level 1's kind of nuts to deal with. So really good pick there as a beefy guy for the front line.
And Cho'Gath E does a percent max health damage.
Yeah, yep. Nivea picked up for the mid lane more than likely.
I have
Not
seen
a
a
bad.
Nivea support though.
Yeah, she's definitely not bad as support. I mean, the damage there's pretty nuts, as most AP mages as supports have pretty nuts damage, especially for no income. I don't know if you've ever really noticed certain mages that keep creeping in there, not just brand, but things like a Nivea that pop up there and have little income but still manage to shred
Ooh,
you. Is
Trundle,
Trundle.
love it.
It's good, but Cho'Gath is tanky in more ways than one, not just defense stats. He's got the health there, so it's not like you're
Uh,
going to be stealing away a Malphite's armor or stealing away a Sejuani's armor or magic resist.
It
Final
also
pick for John.
heals you for percent of the enemy's max health.
Yeah, I mean, it does heal him. Don't get me wrong. But definitely not as strong as picking that into a Malphite as a Lilia. Pretty AP heavy on the side of Trebuchet. Kind of counter that Malphite, but the problem is, look at all these characters that would just love to get knocked up by Malphite. Every single one of them is going to be calling him his baby daddy at this point because Cho'Gath's the only one that doesn't care.
Yeah, so like WCU Rams, they definitely have a lot of like percent health damage with the Anivia and the Trundle. You know, and you can shred the Cho'Gath, let Jinx have a little bit more fun, try to get those earlier resets with the get excited. But Silas has the ability to steal. Silas has a lot of decent ults to steal. You know, you can steal the Trundle ultimate to make the Malphite or the Trundle squishier. You can steal the Malphite ult or the Seraphine ult to start up those big team fights. The Navy ult, not that great. You know, you can get CC'd out of it. It's pretty bad. Jinx ult,
Yeah.
not great either. You know, unless you're like looking for those long range snipes. But overall, I mean, Trebuchet, they have a pretty decent comp for themselves. They have more of like a front to back kind of composition with the Lilia Ezreal Karma. And then, you know, you still got that big beefy front line and the versatility with the Silas and that Cho'Gath. So this time around, the drafts are a little bit more even than it was last game.
I'm gonna be real with you here. I think Westchester or WCU Rams here have a much better time this game. I think their comp's a little bit weird, but it works out really well considering what Trebuchet picked. Outside of the karma, like if you imagine nullifying the karma or either knocking her up or CCing her, however you want to do it, if you're not able to shield whoever gets initiated on for the side of Trebuchet, unless it's Cho'Gath, they're dying immediately. Lily, I've played enough Lilia to know how terrifying Trundle Pillar is. If it's a good pillar, you basically insta kill the Lilia just because of the way it'll knock her towards the team and slow her just enough that you can catch her. Malphite is probably the second scariest creature next to a Vigar playing as Lilia. Um, the moment Malphite ults onto the Lilia, if there's any amount of follow up, she's instantly blown up. Unless you're super far ahead and are able to get those tankier items as well as at Zonia's. Ezreal gets knocked up, he's instantly dead. Silas gets knocked up, he's instantly dead. Karma gets knocked up, she's instantly dead. There's a lot of like really good engage that basically insta kills anyone on Trebuchet. The problem is if Karma has good positioning and can shield that target or shield the whole team with the empowered shield, then the engage is just kind of nullified. But I got to honestly lead on the side of WCU here, just because that Lilia pick is the last pick. I don't fully agree with it. You can't run around everybody spamming your Q like you can with most people. Trundles, you got to be weary of. Anivia, Wall can really cut you off if you're in a tight squeeze in the jungle. Seraphine and Jinx are probably the only two characters and Malphite without his ultimate that you can really run train on with Lilia. And then couple that with everyone else being squishy, I don't know. I don't buy it.
Yeah, WCU Rams, they got a lot of slows to kind of keep Lilia contained a little bit. Same with the Ezreal, sort of. But like both sides, they have a lot of versatility in their compositions, and again, it just comes down to how they want to play. I haven't seen Lilia in a minute since like her small like little rework thing with like
They
her
buff the healing you get, I
yeah,
think,
the
from the passive,
healing
right?
get you increased healing from jungle monsters, so
Yeah.
that is very nice. You get the sustain. I think they also changed like her speed ratio, so like instead of 5 stacks you get 4 or something like
Yeah,
that.
and they also increase the ratio. So basically, the more AP you build, it incentivizes the more AP heavy builds because
Yeah,
you
so
just
and you know build like that weird bruiser build, like with like a
yeah.
ton of HP. So again, like both sides they have versatilities. Like really, I'd really probably give more of a advantage to WCU Rams because they have a little bit more like ease with how they kind of have to set up these team fights. But with how Trebuchet played last game, we know that
Yeah,
they are mechanically
they're
better.
competent.
They have really good map awareness, so it's going to be a little interesting to see how this is going to go, man. Like I can't really give it decisively to anyone here.
If you look at just the champion picks, I would have to say that WCU Rams have it. But if you compare it to last game, I'm with you. It's kind of a hard sell for me, and maybe this could be a redemption game in our eyes, as obviously we haven't seen these teams play throughout the entire series. But I think a lot of it's just going to come down to position. And if it's going to come down to position, maybe you lean towards Trebuchet just on their mechanical plays, and how well the players have shown themselves to be compared to their opponents in the last game.
Yeah, like for this, like WCU Rams, if they get first priority on objectives, they have a lot of zoning tools. You have the AoE from the Seraphine, you got the chompers, you got the wall from the Anivia, and the ultimate, the the blizzard or whatever you want to call it. You got the pillar. So WC Rams, they have a lot of zoning tools. So if they get first dibs on objectives, they have a massive advantage because Trebuchet cannot walk into them at that point because Cho'Gath and Silas will just get completely shredded and Lilia will have nowhere to go because she's just going to get slow to oblivion. So I really like WCU Rams. I'm going to give them the slight edge as long as they play with priority on objectives really early and they get that positioning down.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. It's just to me, it's just going to come down to positioning and how well Trebuchet's players play around their glaring weaknesses against WCU.
But that is going to be it for now as we wait for the spectator delay to go down. We're going to be taking a quick little break as we start getting ready for game 2 between WCU Rams and Trebuchet. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, as we are here for Game 2 between WCU Rams and Trebuchet. As once again, we're not going to see any weird shenanigans here. This time, D Holy is going to go into that support role with a Hada ADC barrier for the Jinx and heal with the Seraphine. So they're opting for like full-on safety, despite the fact their lane technically has more priority. And it looks like topside, Trebuchet going to try to do a 3-man top, try to get some vision deep, but they are going to get spotted on that top lane Pixel ward.
Able to clear it. A little bit sad when you have 3 people on one ward and it just like the moment it phases out and everyone just kind of stands around like, crap, we just missed it. No one gets the 10 gold, don't get to clear out the vision. That's a sad time all around. Yeah, bot lane should have priority here. As I want to honestly, I want to guess this is what Trebuchet was thinking of last game with the Karma pick. They thought maybe let's just pair it with Ezreal, but it turned into a flex pick by the way the draft went. So this lane is going to be way better for Ezreal, even if it was against the misfortune from last game, just because Karma offers so much more defensive utility options for the Ezreal versus Rel. And a clever pickup from the Holy as the Holy now switches to support, choosing to go for the Relic Shield because I guess he looks at the Karma Ezreal and says, hey, I'm not going to get much poking for Spell Thieves. So, Wet Dream's going to try for a cheeky Q. No, just goes for a ward. Does not get spotted out by bot lane, so if Please Don't Run It wants to try a cheeky yank at the bot lane, they would definitely be able to see that.
Oh, so they're going to... oh yeah, In Defiance is going to go... They're going to lane swap top and mid. So Cho'Gath going to go mid and Sylas going top, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, Sylas does better into the Malphite, and Cho'Gath can at least sustain better against the Anivia. So... Overall, nothing too crazy here. Both junglers are going to do their full bot side clear here. Lilia obviously having a better advantage. She does have the speed and the AoE to clear all that.
It's going to be even worse when you get to Raptors. You see how fast this clear is.
Yeah, this is disgustingly slow. Just
yeah.
autos, man. Autos. Auto. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And Lilia just instantly clears the Raptors. While Trundle is still on his Raptors, Lilia's already cleared 2 full camps.
And they got that deep ward from In Defiance just a second ago to spot out that Gromp and blue buff. So they'll know Please Don't Run It's going right for it. They should see him pop over the wall.
Oh, wait. Doesn't spot it. Okay, there we go. Now he spots it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they'll know about this, and Lilia can kind of plan accordingly. Broken Crown obviously showing he's really competent jungler, at least from the last game's standards. So we'll have to see how he capitalizes on that one.
Yeah, like that's a great thing. Is like a good thing to know when you're a top laner is like when you get priority in a lane early, it's always nice to push in a little bit, get a little vision, spot out where the jungler is going to be. Lilia going to get first dibs on that top scuttle, already level 4, so Trundle going to kind of have to concede that. Most probably go bot side here, get that, but I think Lilia might secure that one also.
Yeah, he's going to get double scuttled here, and it's not even in the fact that lanes have priorities. It's just the raw jungle clear speed. I mean, look at this. Lilia clears the scuttle, already walking through through mid lane. She does get spotted out, but Please Don't Run It is going straight for the scuttle now, too. Now, this is where lane priority would matter, but Broken Crown would already have the start onto the second scuttle. So it's looking pretty rough for Please Don't Run It as far as clear speed goes. I don't know. You probably know more about the Trundle jungle than I do, but Tiamat, does that fit into the build for clear speed at all for Trundle in these kinds of games?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But Trundle would probably plays more for like looking for like early ganks and then getting the Sunder or at least getting the Sheen as soon as possible, because then that just gives you like that intense 1v1 damage ability. You're not really optimizing for the clear. You're just looking for ganks. The Holy starts the scanner here, so kind of clear all that out. Might look for something bot side here, as we do see that Don't Run It is bot side. So
not sure he'll be able to get much stuff out of this. I mean, when you're ganking a lane like this, especially as Ezreal Karma, I think the only target you really can go for is the Karma. But they both have flash ups. The best you can do really is just burn those summoner spells. And obviously, when they have it warded, there's not much you can do as Trundle. I mean, the best you could do is throw out a pillar, and in certain states like this, even that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, like a bad
'cause Karma.
habit that people do is like when a pillar is dropped, you want to instant flash it, but people still are, within the slow range, so then they'll get hit with the follow-up slow from the chomp. So like it's a
Mhm.
bad habit that people like to do. But otherwise, nothing too crazy. I mean, Gold Lead's still pretty much the same. Lily is about to be 3 camps up on the Trundle here. Already got their
Feels
first
bad.
resets off. For the junglers and topside Silas just reset. Optima looking for again, Silas has options, probably going for the Everfrost here, but we'll see what happens with that.
I think just a little fun tidbit here. If you look at the support items, look at the gold that Karma has on
Ooh, mid
hers.
lane? Staples
Flash.
forced to already use the flash here. Trundle is around for the Gankaroni, but the wave's gonna push in, so you're not gonna be
Yeah,
around
it
for
should be
that.
safe.
Oh,
Should be
he's
able to
actually
heal
coming
up.
in still.
Oh, he's gonna go for it. Not enough. Don't even have enough mana on Asian Demon to try to capitalize on that. But yeah, Staples should be fine to clear those waves and get that sustain back in. But yeah, if you look at the support items here, it just really goes to show how important itemization is and knowing what you can and can't do and how lanes play out. Because that Relic Shield, 362 gold already.
Topside here.
Wow,
Indefiant's gonna
dang.
take the Malphite ulti already. Gets a massive heal with the Kingslayer, and Kingfisher gonna get taken down. Broken Crown is here for the 2v2, and that's going to be a victory for Trebuchet as they get the 2v2 2-0 victory in that topside skirmish.
Who's the better Malphite? That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
when
this
you
was-
kind of see the Silas pick the Malphite ultimate up, I don't know why Please Don't Run It and Kingfisher just decide to walk towards each other. Really doesn't make too much sense there. I mean, I know that they're both melee and have to be there, but once you see the Lilia and the Malphite ultimate stolen, you have to walk it out. You have to walk it away and just be like, all right, nope, there's no way we win this because if we're clumped, that's gonna happen. And yeah, it does. But already 2 kills up, 1K, about a 800 gold lead for the side of Trebuchet is. Silas and Broken Crown with the money this time around. Broken Crown already rotating to the bot side, trying to look for this Scuttle and possibly Dragon. I think they know that bot lane is recalling here. WCU is not going to be in time for this Dragon, but only Red
Lilia,
Strike is down here.
Lilia does
She can
have
do it.
boots. She does do it pretty slow, but gonna get spotted on that control where Red Strike is coming on over to kind of help, but a lot of wards is spotted out here. But Trundle
Doesn't matter.
is starting to slowly make his way down, so this is going to be a free Drake taken. Ocean Drake is such a nice Drake to get.
Oh, are they going to
early
donate
game
it
here,
to Joe?
oh, that's big brain, baby. That's a 1k
Yes!
true damage chomp. You gotta
Genius.
love it, man. Playing for the team. As topside Indefiant looking for those small trades there, but Staples getting absolutely chunked out, but the silence is there to interrupt the glacial storm. So that's yeah, definitely Cho'Gath is really good into the Anivia. You don't need to hit the Q, you just need to get that nice AoE AoE there to get the silence off.
Yeah, and right there you see why Cho'Gath is so strong. Just, I'm caught off. No more
Bot
storms for
lane.
you.
Oh, gets the sleep onto Ahada there. And he is going to get taken down. Does have the flash and the barrier, actually. And gets out perfectly fine. But the True Shot Barrage is get a snipe on the backside. D Holy and Ahada both burned both their summoners here. And that's going to be a couple plays in the bot side. But mid lane, Staples official does get ganked. Does get taken down without the flash. Kill given over to Asian Damon. As looks like it's going to be a trade of the Rift Herald in that top side here, and only they're only gonna get 1 plate in the bot side, so not the greatest, but definitely Herald, if you put that in the right spot, makes it all the more worthwhile.
Yeah, depending on how you play that objective out, you can use that on the mid lane plates as get a little bit more chip damage in there, and it should be able to one-shot that tower. A couple more autos, get it closer to 2 plates as Herald will finish it off. But really, I think that's a better trade for the side of Trebuchet as they burn the Jinx, Flash, and Barrier, and Heal, I thought.
Yeah, all
from,
4 summons are out.
Yeah. So next Dragon fight is absolutely going to be favored in the side of Trebuchet if they're able to not get caught for that. So we'll have to see if that kind of pays in itself. Obviously, you get the Herald for the side of WCU, but you trade it for some Summoner spells for the next Dragon fight. So we'll have to see which one really pays out more here.
Yeah, definitely kind of want to see that Herald I want to see dropped in the mid lane here, but so I read a statistic is so for every level past level 6 the Herald damage actually scales up. So for every level past 6, you get 150 more extra true damage for the Herald charge. So
I did not know that.
yeah, and then like a statistic for Drake Souls is the highest win rate Drake Soul is the Mountain Soul.
Fire.
It's topside
Oh.
Kingfisher. Ooh, barely misses out on the bowling ball. Gonna get
still
smited
going
though.
for it.
Kingfisher actually gonna have to flash out there. I would have just
I don't
burned the
think he had
ultimate.
to.
Yeah, you didn't even probably need to flash or ult out in general. Please don't run it. It
Oh,
is
he's
here.
saving the ult for
As
gank
there
here.
it is.
Save it.
Broken Crown is going to get slowed up a little bit. But there goes Kingfisher popping the ult onto the Silas, stalling him out under the tower. And that's a double kill going over to the side or the Trundle. As mid lane here, Staples Official going in for the Chopperoni. As the egg is still there. Looks like you're going to make yourself an omelet. But Staples Official might not be able to get the kill in time. As does have the... Oh, misses the silence! And Asian Damon going to get the solo kill in the mid lane here.
I think he just barely missed timing. I mean, he could have extended the rupture timing when, you know, when Asian Damon came out of egg, but missing that silence, oh, but you just hate to see it.
He just barely missed it. Like
I know.
that was so smart for Asian Damon though. He walked past the Cho'Gath so the silence doesn't go through. So that is big brain here.
Yeah, if he walked towards the tower, it definitely would have caught him, and that's just happy feet. That's beautiful. As top lane obviously played out really well on the side of WCU Rams, and Kingfisher proving to both us as casters that's why he flashed there, because he needed the ultimate for those ganks. But this dragon fight might be a little important here, as it will definitely stall out the game, as the game's real even right now. So if it goes later and it's still even, Dragon Soul tends to, you know, favor one side versus the other. As Fire Dragon is just a little bit of extra damage that both teams would definitely be wanting. So clearing out this vision, it's going to be contested. Broken Ground's going
Wow,
in here.
topside in Defiance is doing a lot of damage there, but it looks like Malphite's going for Force of Nature first into the quadruple AP damage of Trebuchet. So that Force of Nature is such a good item because it doesn't give you like extra resistances and all that. It gives you percent damage reduction to AP when you get full stack, so it's really nice. Mid lane here, the charge is gonna go through. So what, you're level 9, so that's
Wow, what a
350.
pillar.
As all the pillar interrupts him, and Ezreal gonna get taken down here. As Staples gonna grab that chomp, as Silas steals the Malphite ultimate, grabs it, and that's a 3-man encore into a 3-man root and stun. As there goes Asian Damon getting a kill on the backside, knock up onto the Anivia. She's gonna get rooted up, pillar going down, but it ain't gonna save him enough, and shutdown going over to the Silas here, and it's still going to be a 2-for-2 trade for both sides. And the Drake is up, and jungler is down for the side of Trebuchet. So WCU Rams should be able to get this, maybe.
Kingfisher, what are you doing, man? You were top lane the whole time with your ultimate and teleport. You easily could have came in on the controller and river.
Ooh, hold up on that. Red
here.
Strike gonna get hit with the root, but please don't run it. Doesn't have a lot of mana. That's a Mandra W from Red Strike getting the heal, and that's the bait. Please don't run it. Is running it down. Shutdown going over to the Silas, and that's going to be the Drake taken instead by Trebuchet, getting that early Drake stacking.
I'm not even playing against Karma, but whenever I do, I always feel the pain that Trundle has. I absolutely hate that champion, so by living vicariously through Don't Run It, screw Karma. That's all I'm going to say. This dragon's going to easily go over to the side of Trebuchet. And
the feast was actually going to be up in a couple, not in a couple seconds, so possibly could have gotten that, but got rift stacks.
Maybe they didn't want to risk a steal, especially with how low the dragon was.
Staples? Oh, Flash Frost doesn't land there, so Staples just walks out perfectly fine, but Super Mega Death Rocket did come out. Unfortunately, nobody was there to block it, so it just goes straight through the Drake. But right now, Drake, the gold lead is dead even. That Rift Herald definitely helps to keep it pretty even, but early Drake stacking this, so we're on track to get about a 24-25 minute Cloud Soul this game. Yeah. So Staples Official flashing in. Bowling Ball doesn't quite land, but Asian Damon, that's a very nice wall to interrupt the Lilia W there, and Broken Crown gonna secure that kill onto Asian Damon there. 2 flashes used for that kill in the mid lane. I think that was a shutdown too. Or no, it was not a shutdown. Broken Crown. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Thunder is already built, but the Rupture already down. Please don't run it. Broken Crown getting burned slowly, but it ain't going to be enough.
He had to subjugate. Again, this is another instance where people are holding on to stuff. Kingfisher with that one fight with the teleport and ultimate. please don't run it with the Subjugate ultimate. That more than likely, like, for sure would have reduced the resistances enough and done enough damage that you could have killed Broken Crown, but I don't know why everyone seems to be holding on to these abilities.
Hey man,
I
they're
mean,
saving it for the next game.
Yeah, next game, yeah. The game that won't really matter unless they get another FF victory here, but yeah, on the side of Trebuchet, that you see them burning all these summoner spells to pick up these kills, but they're doing it on good timings when objectives aren't really up. You have Herald, but who cares? And they're getting stuff out of it because they're using these abilities. So hopefully we can start to see people actually use their abilities that are on their keyboards. I'm very surprised with that one. Please don't run does spot the ward. Trying to think for Herald, but gotta be scary of Silas at this point. I mean, both Silas and Cho'Gath, even though he's 0-2, he's definitely a menace and seems to have a good bit of priority over Asian Damon.
He has 5 stacks already. And he's level 11, so he is
and one of them's
literally
the
and figuratively.
Yeah.
And he got the Rift Herald that was that crashed mid also.
Yeah, so he's got 2 free stacks. Because epic monsters and dragons don't count towards your stack counter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they don't count towards the
6 limit.
you can like you can basically get like epic monsters infinitely.
Yeah.
3 minions and 2 epic monsters. So Staples
Damon,
gonna get stunned up a little bit, but in Defiance there with the ultimate flashing forward, and that's gonna be the successful tower dive. Staple Officials finally getting his first champion stack of the game. The Super Mega Death Rocket going through, but it ain't gonna hit nobody. So that is going to be a successful dive into that mid lane there, but they're not really gonna convert it into any kills there except for, or convert it into any objectives there except for the kill.
And I'm going to be honest here, in Defiance showing that he's just a better Malphite player. Snags that ultimate and every single time rotates down to mid lane or tries to force something with it, and that's basically what you got to do. So Kingfisher got to step up the rotating game here as your team is suffering while that Silas comes in with your ultimate and really capitalizes on it. Hopefully you can come down here for this, what seems to be an exchange of vision. A little bit of skirmishing here.
Yeah, the Holy going to get stunned up, and he's actually going to get put into a sleep. Encore onto 2. Karma going to get chunked up a lot here, so going to be careful, but please don't run it. It's all by himself, doesn't flash out of the root in time, and that is going to be a dead Trundle. Going to try to look for a return kill, but not going to be enough. That's the stolen Encore onto 1, and Nivea doesn't have the egg anymore. 2 Shot Barrage going to go out, going to get hit a Hada on the backside, and Asian Damon going to get taken out. 2 kills going over to Trebuchet, and they cannot do anything about it. As Drake spawning in about 1 minute, Pink's coming out. They're going to secure that Rift Herald for free.
You know, I think it's kind of a sad irony here as Trebuchet is really starting to snowball and take this game out of control. And I laugh because you notice that just about every, or not every, but a majority of these kills are started by this Silas in Defiance playing on it. And just about everyone also includes a Malphite ultimate. They're basically doing what WCU's draft was supposed to do, but with Silas. So it's like, hey, we know that you picked Malphite and he's just going to pub stomp every single one of us if he ults us. So how about we just take that and do the same thing to your team and laugh that you can't do it to us? Because that's basically how this game's boiling down to at this point. Dragon's coming up, so maybe, just maybe, Kingfisher can be here and trigger a really good engage with this Malphite ultimate. We'll have to see. Another good magic resist item that you can build in situations like this on Malphite is what is it? Banshee's Veil. You get that magic resist, you get a spell shield, and you get that AP damage because you, like, what's the physical threat? Ezreal? That's the only physical threat on the team right now.
Sunder proc does AD, so Wet Dream's gonna use the Arcane Shift and the Flash to get out there, so that's a crucial summoner right before the Drake. Kingfisher is actually already here, so has the ultimate primed up and ready. Cho'Gath gonna reset, gonna teleport back in. Asian Damon is going to stun up in Defiance a little bit, gonna zone him out of that little choke point there. But right now, nobody on WCU Rams is really setting up into the chokes, and they're not really zoning them out, man. They're just playing like a bunch of wusses, as the Drake's gonna get started up immediately by the side of Trebuchet here. Battle lines are drawn. Everybody on the side of... Oh, that's a 2-man encore into the 2-man knockup. But there goes the Silas going into the backside. Going to absolutely obliterate the Anivia. They're going to try to get the Seraphine. Finally gets taken down by the Kingslayer. Queenslayer get taken out. As Ahada trying to get the kill onto the backside with the rockets, but doesn't have enough mana. Silas is still running rampant in your backside. Nobody's peeling for the rest of your team. As there goes everybody else on the side of WCU Rams. They're going to get taken out. Getting a free one-way ticket to the Fountain, as that sole point for the side of Trebuchet, as the Baron is up now.
Not quite enough damage to capitalize on the beautiful two-man engage there. Karma was able to get out of it and start shielding the team, and you could just see the slivers, not even slivers, but low amounts of health bars that Trebuchet had in this team fight. And I think a lot of that's boiling down to just that little incremental gold that they had going into this fight, about 3k up that they had at the start. And if it was, if you had a little bit more oomph, a little bit more damage from the side of WCU, that definitely could have turned it around entirely. A single kill would have probably changed the outcome of that team fight. I think the main goal going forward, if they keep running this line of play, is just how well can you protect the Hada from In Defiance on the Silas, as he was a menace in the back line.
Oh, Staples gonna get sped up here, but the wall gonna deter that. But that fight, Ahada started that fight with no mana. So, like, he flashes in, but doesn't have enough mana to finish off the kill. If you got a little bit excited there, possibly could have turned that fight around. But unfortunately, you're flashing forward, no mana. And that's pretty much it. You have the Kraken Slayer, and you're starting to build that LDR, but the Cho'Gath is not the problem. The Silas is the deal, and the Ezreal is just kind of free firing. All those shields is just doing so much work right now.
If Cho'Gath is a problem that you feel you need to build LDR, you need to reevaluate your life's choices. I mean, when you have a get excited Jinx, Cho'Gath shouldn't really be getting onto Jinx at all. In no world should he be able to touch her without a surprise flash, and even then, you could still run away from him with your movement speed. So, yeah, like you said, it's one of those things like, hey, let's just put Cho'Gath off to the side, we'll deal with him later. The main focus is we got to target here is this Lilia and the Silas and or the Karma, just to get all those shields out of the way. So we'll have to see if their game plan kind of changes here going forward. But I don't think mana really would have fixed too much of that fight, though, as flashing forward really is kind of the death sentence. Makes Silas getting onto you a lot easier. And obviously Seraphine not as strong at shielding as Karma is. So as far as protect the AD carry goes, Karma has a little bit of the upper edge. But as far as team fights go, for those ultimates, Seraphine has the upper edge.
Mid lane, Herald pop into the mid lane. That is going to be not one charge yet, so it looks like Smite going down, but this is going to be the second charge going into the mid lane tier 2 here. Unfortunately, not everybody focusing it down. Cho'Gath is going to get called out here. He's going to get stunned up, flashing out from the pillar, and there's the wall, going to cut him off from the wrong side. And please don't run it, going to put down the Subjugate. Staples official going to get taken down, teleport coming in. Silas does not have any ult, so going to have to be a little careful here as Malphite's in that mid lane onto that Ezreal here. No armor really, so gonna have to be a little careful, but that's going to be a really crucial pick here for WCU Rams to attempt to bring this game back from the brink, as they are down about 5.5k gold, and that is going to trigger the objective bounties already here.
Yeah, I think this is about on par with how much gold difference was in last game, maybe a little bit slower. I think at 18 minutes we were about 3 to 4k gold lead, so game's a little bit slower than last game. However, if you look at the souls, already on soul point for the side of Trebuchet, and that Cloud Dragon coming up in a minute.
Ooh, they almost got Broken Crown on that ward there.
Didn't know about that one. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Cloud Soul's given them move speed now. Is it out of combat, or is it
so it's I think it's like Cloud Soul just gives you movement speed when you pop your ult, basically. And then the Cloud Drake in general gives you out of combat movement speed and slow resistance. So that's pretty nice, but yeah, you get that extra speed from ult. I think Silas has the ability to like proc it twice, even though there's like a 40-second cooldown in between. So you proc it once when you steal an ultimate, and then you wait the 40 seconds, then you use your ult again, and you get that movement speed again. Because like that last team fight, Silas was just running rampant in that backside, and nobody could do anything, and nobody has Grievous. None.
Well,
so Silas and who is it? Lilia are just healing a while.
I don't think Grievous is as important as it was last game, as Karma opted for the movement speed mythic as opposed to the Moonstone for healing. But Jinx, if you wanted to get a Serpent Fang, it's not ideal, but you could. Trundle could get a Serpent Fang if Karma shields are, really a problem, which personally I think they are, but that would all come down to targeting. So it's always tricky when you run into these situations, because it's kind of like the similar to the Grievous Wounds thing. who's going to build it? Should you build it? Should I build it? Who's better off to build it? And it sucks for shield cut because Serpent's Fang is really the only item that works on it right now.
Technically, anybody can build it because it just applies on
Yeah,
damage. It doesn't apply like
yeah.
just strictly on like anything else like that.
Thought it
But
was gonna be on physical.
mid lane tier 1 is no, yeah, it's not just physical, it's just any damage that you apply. So mid lane
Oh,
tier
that's
1 gonna
better.
get taken down there. That's the objective gold going over to the side of WCU Rams, but they're just gonna completely concede this. Oh, they almost stole that actually. That was about less than 200 HP on that Drake there. So Superman Death Rocket almost securing a kill and a Drake. So, you know, getting that 2-for-1 deal. But that's going to be two big objective bounties given over to the side of WCU Rams. But don't
Trying
know if
to
that's
catch
going
it.
to be enough. As that's D-Holy. Why are you resetting right there? As In Defiance going to chase down D-Holy. You're popping the Encore, but you're not going to get another one. As Ahada is going to get hit with the bowling ball. That's going to be a strike flashing over the wall. But everybody else on the side of Trebuchet is there to help get him down, as that is going to be a Baron for free for the side of Trebuchet here.
They're pinging that Lilia does not have smite, so please don't run it. Could try to steal, but I think you'd be hard pressed to even get in there. So it looks like they're not going to even try, as they're going to clear out as much minions as they can. A little sad that Ahada and D-Holy just decide to burn just about every cooldown and summoner spell at their disposal, even though they were dead fish anyway. So next fight, they're not going to have Flash, they're not going to have Barrier. Encore might be up. I know Encore is a pretty lengthy cooldown, but level 2 ultimate now. No, it should be up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's about a minute and a half.
Yeah, so Encore will be up, but those flashes are the most important parts for these fights, as Ahada is not going to have a good time without Flash, especially if that Silas is on him. 7-1 at this point. Lilia 5-2. Clearly, the Malphite, knock up train with the Encore follow, but you just don't have enough damage to deal with it right now. Maybe if the game goes a little bit longer, you can. Obviously, as the game goes on, damage goes up, everyone's building their items, and people like Ezreal, people like Silas and Lilia aren't really building super tanky items like the Cho'Gath is. So eventually you'll get it to a point where sure, you're down 5, 10k gold, but you do enough damage to blow the main target up and you can win that way. So already this game's going to look like it's going to go longer than last, because last stopped at 30 minutes. We're already up to 27, 28. And we'll have to see if Trebuchet can find it here. They just got to crack something open. Maybe a single pick would break open the base as they push with this Baron.
Staples is going to get jumped on by the Trundle, but Trundle is 2 levels down. Staples getting absolutely shredded here. Lethal Temple fully procced and flashing over the Rupture. You really want that kill, but you are really only stalling the inevitable here, as waits for the Subjugate to go down, and please don't run it, might die here. You're gonna have to be careful of that. Execute is flashing over, gets a chop in the 1v1 there. It's very nice job for Staples official to stall out the Subjugate there. And unfortunately, please don't run it, trying to make some plays, but it ain't enough, as that is going to now lead to the full-on siege by the side of Trebuchet, as they're going to siege the mid lane and the top lane simultaneously. Finally, base broken at about 29 minutes. Elder Drake spawning in about 2 minutes 50 seconds, and that would be like the only thing left that could possibly turn this game around. But In Defiance steals the Malphite ult. Asian Damon gets hit with the bowling ball. Gonna have to be really careful. Gonna get flash frosted under the tower, as Wet Dream does not care. He is just solo in that mid lane, and there's gonna be 2 inhibitors knocked down immediately here at 29 minutes now, finally, as the Baron is about to wear off here in about the next 20 seconds.
Yeah, no need to push it there. You get those 2 inhibs, Elder Dragons in 2.5 minutes. All you have to do is just keep your whole team in the bot lane. Eventually, someone's going to have to go from the side of WCU to clear out those supers rolling into the base. And then when that happens, obviously just kind of capitalize on the tower and with the Elder Drake. But man, it's a little bit slower than last game, but clearly it's just another one of those stomps, and it's just showing them the mechanical abilities of the players on the side of Trebuchet. A little bit of an outclassing for their opponents here. I'm pretty sure this game, maybe even the match, could just be summed up with In Defiance having Malphite ultimate and just being way more proactive with Malphite ultimate than the side of WCU Rams.
Oh, Defiance going up with the abscond of Duck. It looks like Malphite ult is going to expire in about like 10 seconds here. So probably gonna look to use that. But Sable's official gonna get caught out there. Malphite ult ain't gonna expire. And if you're gonna go straight onto the Jinx, the Jinx is gonna get absolutely destroyed, using everything to try to peel off, but it ain't gonna be enough. As the Glacial Storm does not do barely any damage. Karma nearly gonna get taken out, but they're gonna get put into the egg form. Gonna crack a couple eggs here. True Shot Barrage going out. He's gonna do a little bit of extra damage. Malphite isn't tanky enough. He's gonna get absolutely shredded as Ezreal's coming in with the Arcane Shift, picking up a double kill. Broken Crown gonna pick up that kill on the backside, and that is going to be a clean ace for the side of Trebuchet as they move up to round 3 of this gauntlet run here.
Yeah, that was pretty clean there, and not much else to say about it. Just someone screen cap the image of Silas having Malphite's ultimate, and that's all you need there. Everyone on the side of Trebuchet doing a pretty clean job. 5-1, 7-1, 6-2. I mean, 17 kills for the side of Broken Crown. Again, phenomenal kill participation in the jungle. In Defiance, doing a much more proactive job this game than it was before. Obviously, he was kind of on Karma duty, so not much you can expect out of a Karma mid for high damage, high impact. I mean, obviously Karma is high impact, but not in the way of engage, stuff like that. So really phenomenal play for the side of Trebuchet as they really put the pedal to the metal in the mid game for this one.
This game was just like, it was just literally the Rams were just slowly bleeding out because they made like no proactive plays at all around the map, and any plays that they did try to do was thwarted by Trebuchet because they're just constant, because they don't realize it, but they were just, the junglers were constantly matching, they were constantly rotating around the map to get these plays, and the Rams were just slowly bleeding out, and they couldn't really do too much about it.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild because even actually, let me double check this. Sorry, the stats are just really tricky sometimes here. Yeah, Asian Damon on the Anivia pulling out Asian Damon, and please don't run it for the side of WCU Rams, pulling out the most damage on the side of WCU Rams. Everybody else is about 10,000 damage or less. But if you look at the damage on the side of Trebuchet, it's basically just Silas and Lilia. So really standout performances from Indefiance and Broken Crown on this one, and pretty consistent performance from Wet Dreams on the AD carry role. Obviously showing he can play against the lane oppressiveness of Misfortune Doran's ring, as well as play, bot lane into a Seraphine Jinx with a Karma, and still every single game I think he only had one death for both games. I think.
I think so also. Yeah, Wet Dreams just just
Just
knowing
that's
his role, doesn't really get too many resources, but shows up in those big team fights. Mostly a lot of the plays happening around that top side. But very
this.
nice job for Trebuchet. They're gonna move up to the fourth and final round of the gauntlet here, and we're gonna like, so what? They're going to be playing against the fourth seeded Team Ishtar in about an hour's time here. Trebuchet is, so what, they're 3-4 in the win-loss column for the regular season, and Team Ishtar are 4-3, so they're not too far off. A lot of these teams in the standings are relatively close, but this is the last match of the gauntlet before we start getting into like the actual playoffs, semis and finals, best of 5. And so like whoever wins this goes on to the playoffs, and they'll go into the finals. So there's only about 3 more matches total for the rest of this season's Black Twitch League here.
Well, obviously based on what I've seen, I think Trebuchet definitely showing that they could do it. So hopefully they can put the pedal to the metal like they did in these games, and show that prowess and skill that each individual player has against their next opponent.
But yeah, man, that's going to be it for now, as Trebuchet took an absolutely dominating victory over WCU Rams here in the third round. So we'll be right back in about an hour, but that is going to be it from us tonight for now. But you have any other closing thoughts before we log off here for net?
No, I think it was just pretty well played from Trebuchet. Really awkward drafts, though. I think it's the only weakness I could really see, given the player ratings of these, what seems to be this season and these series. But yeah, just awkward drafts. I'm not sure if it's just comfort picks, but they know how to play it. I mean, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how bad you draft or how awkward it looks or how weird your comp is. As long as you know what you're doing and you can play it and you can beat your opponents, that's all that matters. So, Trebuchet showing they can do it.
Yeah, but that's going to be it for us for now. I'll see you guys in about an hour or so. But my boy Stevo is going to have to log off permanently. Not like that, but
Whoa, 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 whoa! Not permanently. Jeez
whoa,
Louise.
yeah, man. But
Don't
that is
worry,
going
I'm
to be
still
it for
around.
now. But we'll see y'all later in a bit as we see a match between Trebuchet and Team Ishtar. We'll see y'all later.